right, welcome back into the Sports Source. And if you're looking for more Sports Source content, we've got it. That's Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on WATE6. We invite you to start watching that show. And then, of course, you can catch tons of, we've got like 160 videos now up, I think, at Sports Source Digital Network. So get over there and check that out. We appreciate you for subscribing. We're at 2,300 subscribers now, and we're still under 3 months, so thank you very much. Appreciate you checking that out. I think you'll enjoy the video if you get over there. We got all kinds of different shows at the Sports Source Digital Network. Okay, we saw your answer in terms of the poll question. Now, I wonder, I didn't tell my guys this. Could you call up the poll? Could you get that back up there? All right, so right now it's 50% to 46, so we'll leave that there while we discuss this. In terms of this being a rebuilding year, those are your three options. We'll give everybody the same three options the folks at home got. Paige Dower, where are you going?
I think it's a rebuilding year, but not by design. Of course, you'll have rebuilding years once, you maybe are like a Georgia or Alabama and you're losing 12, 15 guys to the NFL draft. You're losing guys to graduation. Rebuilding is not necessarily a negative thing. It can be indicative of a positive thing within the program. But I think because you lost so many guys in the portal, you're relying on talent in your high school recruits and your freshman guys and then you lose Nico, which, your quarterback's the most important position. I do think because of those things, it ends up being a rebuilding year because of how it kind of has fallen apart, not because things happened the way you wanted it to. I think it happened because they didn't do more.
So would you have still said it was a rebuilding year before Nico, or did Nico push you over?
Nico might have actually pushed me over, although losing so many wide receivers on December 9th and December 16th, it starts to lean that way.
It's 4 offensive linemen you're having to replace. Your top 3 receivers you're having to replace. Dylan Sampson, who carried your offense, you're having to replace. And then you throw on top of that your starting quarterback. Yeah. So maybe
it pushed me over the edge. I don't think it's because of Nico, but I think that kind of pushes me over the edge.
Vince, where are you going? Which of those 3?
I would actually lean towards no, and only because my interpretation of rebuild is a huge step back, like below 500 type of reset. I don't view it that way. I view them falling back from college football playoff contention right now and maybe being in that 7 to 8 win range. But rebuild, to me, I kind of view that as a larger step back than what I think they will have.
I'm in the middle. I believe that it's now a rebuild because of the decision of Nico Iamaleava. I had Tennessee 10-2 last year. I have Tennessee going 9-3 pre-Nico transferring. I now have Tennessee at 8-4 with Nico leaving. I always poke fun at some of the baseball guys, the wins above replacement, the wars, and the nerds. Yeah. I think Nico was good for a game, and I think going from 10-2 to 8-4 is a little bit of a reset / a setback or rebuild because of the Nico leaving.
Not a rebuild. It's just the year that you play Alabama and Florida on the road, and there are 21-year-olds alive right now who have not seen you beat Alabama or Florida on the road. So that means you're going to take 2 losses that maybe you didn't expect to take last year. You're going to take them this year because you play Alabama and Florida on the road.
Mm-hmm. Look at the poll. It's now flipped. No, it is not a rebuild. You don't get a rebuild in your 5th year. I think that's silly. Sorry.
Where are you?
You can have a rebuild anywhere. That's just if you lose a bunch of people in
transfer portal.
Yes, of course you can have a rebuild. That's the 5th year has nothing to do with it. Literally nothing.
That's
to do
I don't
with
think it's necessarily an inherent negative thing.
Yeah.
The way it happens can make it more negative.
I think it's going to be taken as negative, but I would have said, look, we did this last December as soon as the Ohio State game ended. We did our post-game show and we had a ton of people out here, and everybody gave their prediction for next year, and I said 8-4. And it was a bunch of better than 8-4s until I said 8-4, then Overstreet 8-4, then Mike Stoll 8-4. I thought it was going to be a rebuild before Nico. I think it's going to be really a rebuild now because I don't know what you got at quarterback. He may be great, but I know the people who are saying he'll be better are saying that based solely on wish, on hope. There's no way to know he'll be better.
Or watching tape of both last year because Nico was limited.
All right, you think he's better. All right, I'll give you that.
I think he's better in this offense.
We'll see. I've never seen him in this offense. You've envisioned it.
You're right.
I haven't. Okay, so I just think that's a stretch. We'll see though. But at any rate, I do think it's a rebuild.